Use headphones for best experience.
Welcome back to ComixFM. Today we bring you a blood-soaked showdown of epic proportions. Spawn versus Batman. An electrifying Image Comics and DC crossover written by the legendary Frank Miller and brought to life with stunning art by Todd McFarlane. A companion piece to The Dark Knight Returns, this brutal clash tests the very limits of darkness and redemption. Two vigilantes, two methods, one explosive encounter. Who truly owns the night? Drop your thoughts in the comments and prepare for war. Because in this battle, hell meets Gotham.
Chapter 1. The Suspect.
Gotham's shadows clung to Batman as he navigated the war-torn warehouse, his breath labored and shoulder bleeding. He ignored the pain, focused on his mission. The place was littered with weapons, guns, grenades, even rocket launchers, all remnants of a failed dictatorship. Digging deeper, Batman found high-tech devices of foreign origin, their purpose sinister and unknown. Among them, a pair of advanced Soviet battle gloves caught his eye, humming with untapped power. Trusting the craftsmanship, Batman slipped them on, feeling an intoxicating surge of strength course through his veins. His moment of reflection was shattered when a monstrous robot attacked, claws tearing through the air. Batman's enhanced power met the robot's might head-on, their blows shaking the structure. When Batman shattered the armor, he discovered a human within, a cyborg, dazed and frightened, speaking English with a Brooklyn accent. Batman ripped the head from the machine just as it self-destroyed, leaving only the head intact. Back in the Batcave, Bruce analyzed the cyborg's head. Alfred, ever practical, prepared tea, while Bruce remained engrossed. A scan revealed the man inside the cyborg was Louis Bacchus, a vagrant from Manhattan. Intrigued by the New York connection, Batman prepared to leave, haunted by memories of his parents' murder. Chapter 2. The Clash. In New York, Batman prowled the alleys, hunting for leads. Tales of a mysterious figure named Al surfaced, but Batman dismissed them as myth, unknown to him. Spawn was also searching for missing friends in the same city. In a dark alley, two thugs found a homeless man soaked in gasoline. Setting him alight for sport, they watched in horror as the flames chased them. Spawn emerged, enraged, and dispatched the thugs with hellfire, his power overwhelming. Batman, watching from the shadows, saw his murder and leapt into action, kicking Spawn with calculated precision. The two clashed, fists and chains colliding in brutal harmony. Batman's strikes, trained to incapacitate, barely phased Spawn, whose supernatural resilience withstood the assault. Spawn demanded Batman back off, calling Gotham his turf. Batman, unfazed, pressed on, determined to understand what this L was made of. Realizing brute force wouldn't work, Batman released a gas canister meant to subdue mobs. Spawn coughed but remained standing, though weakened. Batman capitalized, delivering brutal punches, but Spawn retaliated, fueled by dark magic, matching Batman's aggression, blow for blow. Wounded and exhausted, Batman retreated, his shoulder dislocated. Resetting it with grim resolve, he noted that Spawn had held back, a revelation that stung his pride. Meanwhile, Spawn found himself at a dilapidated building marked Heel, New York. Inside, a junkie named Silvio claimed to know something important. Spawn's instincts told him it was a trap, and mechanical noises confirmed it. Giant robotic sentries attacked. Spawn fought back fiercely, using a commandeered weapon to obliterate one machine. Amid the wreckage, he found his friend Chuck, now a robotic head, barely coherent and terrified. Chapter 3. The Truth. Dr. Margaret Love appeared on a screen, speaking in soothing tones about purging flawed humanity to create perfect, guilt-free servants. Her speech triggered memories of Al Simmons' past as a soldier, recalling how Love stood amidst the chaos of war, smiling as soldiers died. Furious, Spawn unleashed his power, freeing Chuck from his suffering. At the Batcave, Batman processed the bitter truth. Spawn had spared him during their battle. His pride bruised, he steeled himself for the next confrontation, knowing the fight wasn't over. The bat signal pierced the Manhattan sky, calling him to action. He traced Dr. Love to the Heal New York building, vowing to bring both Spawn and Love to justice. Elsewhere, Spawn battled inner demons, wrestling with Batman's gas pellet effects while reflecting on Love's manipulations. Suddenly, Batman struck again, this time wearing the battle gloves. The ensuing fight was savage, both warriors unleashing their full strength. Batman's punches, enhanced by the gloves, rocked Spawn, but he fought back with unstoppable fury, his chains lashing out like living weapons. Batman taunted Spawn for his lack of discipline, while Spawn mocked Batman's obsession with order. Their fight continued to the point when both of them were spent and gasping for breath. Their clash was interrupted by cyborg enforcers sent by Love. Batman, bleeding and barely conscious, was struck down, his jaw shattered. Spawn, equally worn, summoned one last burst of power, incinerating the machines. Batman's heart stopped, and Spawn, unwilling to let his rival die, reignited his life with a touch of hell power. Batman awoke, confused and furious to find Spawn in his mind, showing him visions of Love's atrocities. The shared experience forced Batman to acknowledge the truth. Love had to be stopped. United in purpose, the two prepared to confront her twisted empire. Chapter 4. The finale. Margaret Love orchestrated a grand fundraiser aboard a massive ship, addressing her distinguished guests with a speech about her childhood and how witnessing suffering drove her to dedicate her life to healing the world. She claimed the problem was people, blaming humanity for the planet's woes, sweating, eating meat, spreading waste, and causing destruction. She insisted that society's issues stemmed from people's mere existence, painting them as vile and irredeemable. Her influence was clear, as even the Attorney General and a senator expressed sympathy and agreement. As she continued, inside the ship's hold, an arsenal built for an unfought war lay dormant. Her followers, silhouetted in shadows, listened as she declared that after the world burned, her therapy, technology, and force would reshape humanity, offering freedom from choice to every soul. Her goal was to rebuild the world, supposedly free of human flaws, and her supporters erupted into applause as the President of the United States took his first sip of her special punch. Meanwhile, Batman and Spawn broke through the ship's defenses, with Batman disabling a guard while Spawn leaped into action, criticizing Batman's tactics. They were speaking telepathically, thanks to Spawn's magic. Batman mocked Spawn's intelligence, calling him dumber than Clark. When Spawn asked who Clark was, Batman tersely replied that it was none of Spawn's business. Despite their clashing styles, the two pressed forward, smashing through cyborg guards and navigating the ship's corridors. Spawn ridiculed Batman for his stealthy approach, calling him noisy and ineffective, while Batman scorned Spawn's brute force. They faced a cyborg robot. Both the heroes attacked, Spawn with ruthlessness, Batman with calculated moves. But Spawn was careless. He hit the explosives unit on the cyborg, and there was a massive explosion, with everyone thrown away. Jagged rubbles of torn metal flew everywhere. One sped towards Dr. Love. Batman screamed at Spawn. Love didn't have to die. She had to be taken in by the law. But Dr. Love was impaled by one of the towering metals. Their conflict left Batman grappling with the consequences. But with her dying breath, Love pressed a switch on her necklace. A nuke was launched toward the city. Spawn teleported them both away, bracing Batman for the worst as they were ripped to atoms by the surge of hell power. They were rebuilt and reconstituted in the ether, appearing on the Soviet missile hurtling toward New York City. Batman's hand steadied, his mind cleared, and he inspected the missile's circuitry. Spawn warned him it was a trap, and touching it incorrectly would result in everyone's death. Batman confidently assured him he wouldn't mess up, and demanded that Spawn not touch his cape. With skilled hands, Batman disarmed the missile, sending it harmlessly into the East River, saving the city. Batman's unmatched intellect and precision were highlighted as he executed the task flawlessly. As the missile crashed into the water, Batman commanded Ow to get them out of there, and the city was saved. Back in Spawn's alley, the teleportation left Spawn writhing in agony and nausea. Batman criticized Spawn's reckless methods, calling them disrespectful and lacking discipline, while Spawn threatened Batman if he ever stepped on his turf again. Despite the tension, Spawn acknowledged that neither of them could have stopped the missile alone. He offered to bury the hatchet, but Batman, still seething, hurled a batarang with a defiant, "Bury this." The batarang dug deep into Spawn's face, with green ichor seeping from his wounds. It marked the end of their uneasy alliance, with no clear resolution, just mutual disdain and an unspoken acknowledgement of their shared triumph. That wraps up today's epic showdown on ComixFM. But don't get too comfortable because legends like Spawn and Batman are far from done with each other. Get ready for round 2, where darkness and vengeance collide once more. If you enjoyed this Clash of Titans, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Support the comic book industry. These stories live on because of passionate fans like you. All characters and story elements are owned by their original publishers, and this video is purely for entertainment, to celebrate and spread the love for comics. Remember, when hell meets Gotham, nobody walks away unscathed.